Ooh. All right. A little stressful sometimes when you do all this streaming stuff, but we are here at 11:23. I'm still early if we're counting CPT. Hasn't hit 11:11 yet for color folks.
What?
um,
Can you look up to the and use it?
there we go. All right, here we are. Another episode of Being Free with the FreeWaters. We got a great show for you today. We're going to start off with reading the Beaver. Pulled the Beaver upright today. Boom. And we have a surprise guest coming out too. I don't even know who it is, so we're going to find that out today. So be sure to tune in. Thank you very much. Open right to it. Oh, no, close. Close. Beaver. Teach me to build my dreams, including others too. One mind, one thought, heart as one, lessons learned from you. 22. Beaver, the builder. Beaver is the doer in the animal kingdom. Beaver medicine is akin to water and earth energy and incorporates a strong sense of family and home. If you were to look at the dams that block woodland streams, you would find several entrances and exits. In building its home, Beaver always leaves itself many alternate escape routes. This practice is a lesson to all of us not to paint ourselves into corners. If we eliminate our alternatives, we dam the flow of experience in our lives. A doer is characterized by industriousness, and Beaver knows that limitations cancels productivity. Beaver is armed with very sharp teeth that are capable of felling whole trees. Imagine that those teeth could do to the limbs of predators. From the rear, Beaver is armed with a paddle-like tail that aids its swimming as well as guarding its behind. This tiny mammal is equipped to protect its creation. To understand beaver medicine, you might take a look at the power of working and attaining a sense of achievement. In building a dream, teamwork is necessary. To accomplish a goal with others includes working with the group in mind. Group mind constitutes harmony of the highest order. Without individual egos getting in the way, each partner in the project honors the talents and abilities of the others and knows how to complete the piece of the puzzle that belongs to them. In working well with others, a sense of community is achieved and unity ensues. If Beaver has appeared in your spread, it may be time to put your ideas into action or to complete some project that has been neglected. The Beaver card could also be asking you to settle differences with fellow workers or friends. Beaver tells you to look for alternative solutions to life's challenges and to protect the creations which you put your love and energy to. Sometimes Beaver brings you a warning to watch your back. If this is your message, you will know it by the position in which the card falls in your spread. If the card falls in the south position, it is a reminder of your child self that trusting is okay, but caution is necessary. Use discernment and all will be fine. So that's Beaver upright. We're going to sit for a second. Reflect on that. I really felt I was going to say the first paragraph, but the whole thing flat. And kind of what I was talking about in today's preview of Beaver being the doer, right? Using your environment to create, including like the tools at your disposal, your teeth, your tail, coming up with alternate routes, not staying in one like mindset, right? Puffy the Puff Go. Be Slappity Slapperton.
It's like the atomic bomb for.
Happy birthday, B. Let's go. A love the pro. Let's get some beer in here. Hey, in here. You just gotta hit that baby right one time, and you in there. We're talking about the beaver, and the beaver's talking about being the doer, and it's really interesting for someone with a big mouth like the beaver. They're not talking, right? Allegedly, and what did it say? Beaver knows limitations cancels productivity, right? And I think that's something that we were just talking about, that if we feel any limitation at all, then we can't exist. And that's kind of been the whole
And it's funny because the lack of limitation then will allow for fear or to come in, but at this point, it's my bad.
You can do this.
Oh.
Yeah. Lack of limitations. Don't limit yourself.
It's just once you live in that realm where anything is possible, anything less sucks.
Let me tell you.
And I can't fake it. Yes, we do learn something new every day.
Exactly.
And I was meditating on this yesterday because I see a lot of independent single women who have children and who are trying to do multiple jobs and can't help but, you dedicate your life to your child. Every decision. Yes, exactly. Limits are the jail that we set up for ourselves. And just like this lifestyle of like, I'm going to do it myself, and kind of how we were talking that like people separate. Love is not a thing. Love is no longer a thing because of whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like all the women we meet, and just this like idea that we can live in community where we help each other. And kind of flip-flopping what independence means, because in society, it's like being independent means you're your own island and you don't need anybody. But if we're all connected, that's like a limit of separation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not going to get you anywhere, and you're just going to get tired. You're really not going to get anywhere, and your life is going to be hard. But what if you existed in a society where you can be an independent individual, like you can be complete on your own, and it's not that you need anyone, it's that they're there. The help is always there, and there's always, like, your needs are met, but it's not a codependent thing.
Exactly. And
because I was just gonna say, like, when we started talking about poly and that, like, I've always wanted kids around. They don't have to be my children, right? And so when we meet people and I'm like, and they have children, I'm like thrilled because it's like, yes, the community's starting, like, you know, all these people. And so like that's what I see, and it hurts a little when I just see people struggling and they don't have to. If they would open up the limitation of
What's going on, John?
You know, there's like only one way to do things, and still holding on to those dreams that, and not questioning why do you want that. Like remember when I told you someone said they wanted the wedding for their child?
Oh yeah.
The child doesn't know what a wedding is. They don't give a shit.
No.
They want happy adults in their life. They can set the example for them moving forward. That's all they want. They don't give a fuck if you're gay, lesbian, poly, not poly, alien. They just want happy individuals existing in their life so they can exist.
Which feels like what I've learned is that we tend to work backwards, and we have this idea and we have to fit into the idea, right? And let's say if we're dating, it's like our whole phase, you know, and then eventually we're going to stop being bad and being naughty, and
oh no mo.
Yeah. I'm going to get wifed up, or, you know, whatever it is. And
Your
then
ball and chain.
Yeah. And I just think that is because you have fun when you listen to yourself, but then you have guilt because you're actually doing the things you want to do. And then you see, like,
because you're in a limiting experience or relationship that wouldn't allow you to do the things you want to do.
Well,
because you're not being honest about what it is you want to do.
That's what a relationship is. And no, yeah, exactly. No one's being honest. And look at where we are now. Just being honest. If we were to, let's say, stay in the same loop, what we were doing a year ago. Let's say we got another video game to play through, you know, and, you know, we just go to the beach, and that's about it, you know. And yeah, shouts out to the coziness. If I just want to say, hopefully YouTube is getting this cozy.
Do you want me to?
It's not there. It's the green one with the face. There we go. All right, so that's a big thing of speaking your truth, and that's the thing that I was saying recently, is that me forgiving and sending love, and that's something that Beaver even said, hey, now's the time to reach out to friends and to kind of like mend things over. And before I was like, no. Not necessarily no, but I feel that
it
like,
wasn't time.
Yeah, I'm always the bigger person, and then I feel that people take advantage of that because I go, all right, this is what I said, this is how we kind of like, you know, separated, and then it goes, well, I miss you, so I guess I'll tolerate your shit, you know, versus like, I miss you, bro, but you know, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we can't exist in this frequency together. I either have to lower my vibe, or you have to come and meet me here. And that's where, even with ourselves, our disagreements come from, because it's nothing besides just saying, hey, this is the highest timeline, the funnest timeline. We're actually stopping ourselves, like the Beaver was saying. And that was the thing I would say, like, hey, you know, I know that we may be feeling good or whatever, but this is like maybe a little bit
rock bottom. Yeah,
this is rock bottom, as some would say. Even for myself, because I'm like, oh, okay, I know that, you know, what we can do, it can get better. Like, we accept life, like people coming over and, you know, just projecting and giving all excuses for why they hold themselves back and this and that, and then we realized that, let's say, our recent experience, I'm not going to say it wasn't any of that, but the more we cut the bullshit, you know, the easier both our lives are, I feel. because instead of like you sit in this limbo and everybody is like, let's say we were hanging out in Hollywood, and what I would say is like, all right, everybody wants to fucking have sex, but no one's talking about it. So that's why it's all right. Let's hang out till 5 in the morning. You know, maybe something magical might happen, and you know, I won't be the one to initiate it, but if something does happen, and it goes, that's such a waste of energy, though. Like personally, because you can what's going on, you can just speak your truth, and let's say the person didn't want to do that, right? Then they can leave, you can leave,
But then your illusion of them dies. Like the illusion, and that's what they like to have in their lives. Is that energy.
Well, yeah, the belief of, yo, like you talk to a guy, you're like, oh my god, like she touched my knee, her knee was touching my knee, she totally wants it. Yeah, I totally got that. I'm just waiting for the day I want to, cause blah 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 blah. And you're like, okay, if you say so, you know. Versus, you know, hey, you want to do this? This is what I want to do. Do you want this? No? Okay, cool. You know, I'm going to now make space for someone who does want this. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel personally like this circles into like a lot of things we go through is like that's when people tend to attack, because it goes, well, hey, this is what I'm looking for. You're looking for something else. Yet not necessarily knowing even what you are looking for, because the energy, you're attracted to this, right? So it's like when I was younger, and I used to get hot dogs every day, right? Hey, what's going on? Yeah, hot dogs
in Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago dogs. You're shouts out to Alana. We used to get hot dogs every day from the spot, and one day I saw them before they were cooked, and they were like gray, and then I heard what wasn't hot dogs, and then I was like, I don't think I want to eat these hot dogs anymore. But in my head, even, I told myself, like, I enjoyed this every single day. Why am I not wanting this anymore? You know, because I know what's in it, but does that change how I felt about it? You know, truly, right? Alien gang out of this world? Not necessarily. You know? I mean, am I eating a lot of hot dogs now? Am I eating as many hot dogs?
You're at peace with your decision. Like, you might get mad. And I feel like that is kind of the same thing. Like, when most people discovered how they treat animals and they want to go vegan or vegetarian, and they get angry. And then most people come to terms with, like, okay, this works for me. Or now I can eat animals with whatever compensation you tell yourself. You know? But a lot of people, what I just thought of was, because they'll always bring up their boundaries, and you're not respecting my boundaries because I want you to be in the friend zone. And you're saying, well, that doesn't exist in my world.
Yeah, I have other friends.
And they're like, you're exclusively in the friend zone. And you're like, but that's not going to work for me. So it's like, I have to respect you, but you can't respect me.
Yeah.
And so boundaries are really just now like these bullshit limits. And it's like you said, people just...
I feel like those are like people, they say things, but just like people want to be supportive, let's say being vegan, boundaries, giving space, being a friend. People say these things, but how often do they even, one, know what it means, two, meet those things, right? And again, even what people say about the boundaries, what happens in our world is we actually call them out on the times they don't hold themselves up to the boundaries. So then they get mad because it goes, you're not respecting my boundaries. Well, actually, you were just talking about how all these other people don't respect your boundaries. I then communicated with you my intentions. Oh, I don't want that. I'm saying, okay, that's cool. I'm gonna dip out, right? What? you're going to leave. You're not respecting my boundary. How am I not respecting your boundaries if I said I was going to leave? What I'm saying is now you're not respecting my boundaries because I don't want to give my energy to someone who's just taking, right? If we're not adding here anyway, then what are we doing? And that's the thing we've learned about takers, right? A lot of times people just want to take. Hey, can you show up? Not necessarily, you know? Or even if it's like let's say a FreeWater position. Hey, run this, we didn't say run an Instagram, right? We said run our Discord. Just being honest. We have Discord, we see the future. I don't want to be in a group chat on Instagram. No one likes group chats, right? Now, just being honest, our name's in a group chat. Whatever, let's be nice. You know, the way I look at it, it's like, you're going to have fans. I'm not about to be in every FreeWater group chat being like, this is not FreeWater approved. You are not a FreeWater distributor, right? Yet, when people do things like that, and I feel that it goes like when I talk about the apples and oranges things. When you ask for apples, hey, can you give me this? And then someone gives you something else and you go, that's not what I asked for. And then they get upset because they go, well, this is what I can give. This is all I can give. Why can't you understand that people can only meet you where they can meet you? And I go, that's fine. You can meet me somewhere the fuck else. Right? And that's cool. And then I feel that's where people even get more mad because now someone's holding them to a higher standard than they're even holding themselves, right? And with that being said, now everyone is kind of like in perspective, well, this person accepts me for who I am now and they don't fucking call me out on my bullshit, so I'm gonna go be around that. And it's like, all right, cool. Well, as you stay in whatever loops that you're in, and then everybody secretly is hating on you, right? Because that's the thing. Hey, you don't want your friend to get better, because if your friend doesn't show up to the bar on Friday nights or whatever, you're upset, right? How many times do we hear that? Oh man, you haven't been going to so and so. Why aren't you doing other shit? You know. Me, when I left Atlanta, you know, it's like, oh, like, stay, you don't need to go anywhere, and And it goes, well, I have to see that for myself, you know. But then the reality is that for instance, someone sends me a message. I get the same shit all the time. Oh, you know, I'm working my job, and you know how it is to slave to the Matrix. No, I don't. I don't.
What?
Now, I don't know.
Why would they say that to you?
I don't. I really don't know. On God, me work a desk job, not happen. Me work anywhere in the Matrix. The most Matrixy job I've worked was, because technically my first job was like an RA. I worked like the desk at the, check people in. So that's not.
That's like minimal.
Yeah, that's not really.
Aren't you like walking the building?
Yeah, and stuff like that. So that doesn't really count because I'm doing what I want to do, really. Yeah. And
probably
Target, but I walked out of Target within 2 weeks. I got paid for the training where they told me unions are bad. And I was like, I don't know about that. And then
I mean, regardless,
yeah.
Right now you're not giving any energy to the Matrix. Why would someone say that to you? It's like they don't understand at all what you're doing.
Well, I asked them because instead of going like, oh, because people, it's like they're fishing for like not compliments, but like praise. Like, oh, sympathy? I'm so sick. Yeah, fishing for sympathy, right? Oh, fishing. I'm so sick. Oh, I hope you feel better. And it's like, hey, what's going on, dude? I definitely remember. Shouts out to Hollywood, Florida. And fishing for sympathy, and you don't give it to them because anything anyone's been through, going through, you know, there's certain things on the list, you
Yeah.
know, but a lot of times for ourselves of like, oh, my family is so da 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 da. All right, I left my family, you know, be free, you
Yeah.
know. Oh, I gotta pay rent and all that stuff. All right, whatever. I lived in a tent and I was performing. You know, I did shows. I got bookings. I was going to parties in Hollywood and shit. No one knew I was fucking homeless. I was like, yo, they give me an Uber. I remember it was so funny. They're like, oh, we'll get you an Uber home. I was like, all right, cool. They're like, so where do we take it to? I was like, Echo Park. And they were like, oh, what's the address? We'll get you dropped off on your doorstep. I was like, don't worry about it. Just like put me on that side. I'm gonna go for a little walk before. Hey, what's going on? Poetic Mermaid, Virgo gang in the building. How was your birthday? Um, and like, I was so stoked because I'm not paying rent. I'm doing tarot. I get up. I do whatever I want. And so I go, okay, so what job is it and why are you working there? You know, also, what happened to the crystal? You know, you're saying we want to wrap crystals and stuff, but do we really want to wrap crystals? You know, and that's what I tell people about spirit. It goes like at this point, how I feel is like don't touch the shit. You know, if we're not 100% in it, because there's we're doing it all for profit now. We're doing it because it looks cool. People just sit in meditation. No one's actually meditating. You know, by coming out with something, and that's how you can see people like honestly, the cool people don't go to yoga class too long. You know, like especially if you're doing like the same stuff over, like you be like, all right, I kind of got this. Like you know, like appreciate it. Like now my schedule's freed up a little bit because I can do yoga when I want to, and I'm listening to my body, and I can do it as long as I want to. So I don't know what to tell you, Jack. And then you see the ones who are like, oh, I gotta go to yoga. Oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta do that. Oh, I gotta charge my crystals under the moonlight. I have to sell these crystals and da 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 da. And then, are we listening to it? Like same people telling me about crystal health. The same motherfuckers telling me, like, yo, they're doing sound baths and Reiki healing and working at the spiritual store. I'm seeing them in the hospitals with masks on. And for honestly, how I feel for anything, like just honestly, how do we live our life? We don't go to a hospital. What the fuck? Like, we listen to ourselves. Today, we even found out about baby FreeWaters. I waved a little Reiki wand, and that's why it means so much to me, the selenite. And I was like, oh, you might be pregnant. And that was a thing, you know. And let's say even the hemorrhoid, you know, or my tooth. Like
The dog bite.
the dog bite,
Your
because
ankle.
my ankle, my wrist, skateboarding, just life in general. I
Orgasms.
Yeah,
Reiki.
all of that, and chocolate,
Chocolate.
dark chocolate.
Nurse Luna.
Because I'm not saying no one ever becomes, you know, not 100%, you know.
No, but recognizing the dis-ease as like, oh wait, something's going on, and taking the time to rest, to allow your body to heal itself, because the body is designed to do that. And then addressing what the fuck it is, because in all those like things that happened, you learned something or something, you know, it was like a block of energy that wasn't flowing.
Exactly. And so that goes back to the Beaver Dam. We're going it back because, and that's what I tell people about etherical energy. And all right, so if we were to go through like FreeWater comments, you know, the sexual thing comes up a lot. Like, you guys are so sexual, right? Yeah, it's so interesting because people worship the Playboy bunny, right? And like that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been proven to quaalude and drug people, and they
Yeah.
were not even having sex, right? It's just the whole image. And now I wouldn't say we have sex majority of the day. You know, we're doing things. We go hiking, went out to the ponies.
Well, we're not doing the adventures.
Yeah. But the thing about it is we're open to it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not forced. And when
It's
it happens,
always on the table.
it's always on the table. So something I wanted to say as well that has been different is, let's say, doing Tinder, Hinge, talking to people, you kind of get high even off of the secrecy, right? So now, when, just being honest, when I was, still Tindering before and someone was over and you like go into the other room and you send messages, or like, I'm gonna go outside and, blah, 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 blah. I got a hemorrhoid because I sat on the toilet so much, because that was my secret space, right?
Where are you
And,
hiding from?
My partner or whoever I was seeing at the time.
Oh, because you were Tindering while partners.
Yeah. Because I would say, like, I'm poly, but I would always feel there was a block, and instead of just addressing the block and like holding my truth, it would be like, all right, I don't want to argue, so I'm going to pretend, suspension of disbelief, that this is working, while in reality it isn't. So now, let's say with our blocks, and we've had this conversation when I'd say something and it'd be like, we feel a certain way, all right, let's talk about it. And now, let's say with our experiences, you can tell me you're excited that you just talked to somebody, and I can show you like, hey, this person does this, and this, and we actually got invited to go over to this place and, have dinner or whatever. Or if I have an experience, come back and tell you, and you're like, oh, what happened? And I'm like, let me tell you. Let me tell you, right?
Yeah. But that, for me, like, that was the intention for this relationship, was I wanted a best friend. Someone I could tell everything to.
Mm-hmm. FreeWater Chief. And that's something we've always said, is that we're best friends sharing life with each other, and we choose to be here, And to expand that, it's like expanding our friend group. And then that's how we even, like, explain it. Like, hey, you have multiple friends, so what's the difference between, us and the fact that we're not like a weird tandem thing and all the weird rules, and like, because that always gets so creepy.
We can analyze any of those other like whatever you want to call them, and they're all really the same thing. Like, no one is actually
monopoly,
solo poly, travel poly.
Well, you're using two anti words. That's saying dark light, right next to each other, like on off.
Like, good luck with that.
Yeah. But those are people we've talked about, who are afraid to like commit, right?